Hey, it's the International Papi Franco Varga, and you're now listening to Stu's Wrestling Podcast, the biggest podcast ever.
You're listening to Stu's Wrestling Podcast. It's time for British Wrestling's sharpshooter, your host, Stu Honor!
I just got this feeling.
A big thank you to everyone who has liked and followed on Facebook. We are well into 1,000 people on there now. It's coming up for 1,100 people, I think. So thank you for all the support across all platforms, YouTube, all the podcast apps. We are everywhere, as you know. Thank you so much. Consistently charting on Chartable as well in the UK wrestling top 250. In amongst some of the best, some of the very best in the industry. Steve Austin's, Jericho's, Bruce Pritchard's, Eric Bischoff's, you name it, they're in there. So thank you for the support, means a lot. Right, episode 61, and my guest is none other than the Brooklyn native, the Puerto Rican Papi, Mr. Danny Limelight. Danny is an ex-Marine. We talk about that. We talk about his career. He got into the business about 5 years ago. He was kicked out of a training school. He's learned on the job. It has led to him being booked for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Primetime Live, which you can see every week at the moment with Dave Marquez. AEW Dark as well. He's been on that for the last 2 or 3 weeks. And a big match from last weekend against the Bullet Club's Chase Owens. So Danny is doing some superb stuff. He's modest, he's honest, he respects his peers, and he has a lot of time for them. So here we go, episode 61. Without further ado, Mr. Danny Limelight Rivera, the Puerto Rican Papi. Enjoy. My guest, all the way from California this morning where he is Mr. Danny Limelight Rivera. What a pleasure to have you on Stu's Wrestling Podcast today.
Mi gente, Stu, what's up, Papi? Thanks for having me, dog.
It's all good, man.
Feels good. It feels good.
How
this is my first interview with somebody from Wales, you know? Like,
all right, okay. You give me the love there. I like it.
You know, you gotta set the bar. You know.
I'm with it. I'm all for that, man. I'm all for that. How's it been currently for you in terms of the pandemic and stuff like that? That's what I've been starting my interviews with recently.
Man, this has been the best time of my life. I don't know how to sugarcoat it or not, but I mean, I know that the pandemic has been a huge factor to some people, and I feel sorry. You know, I send positive thoughts their way, but for me, you know, it ended up being like the best year of my career ever. And fortunately, I was able to capitalize on a lot of opportunities and keep the momentum going and keep the grind going and really pushing towards, you know, my goals and stuff like that. So I feel blessed, man. I can't complain anything about the pandemic. And then I get to chill at home, you know, and relax and rest the body, well-needed rest after all the matches and stuff like that. So it's been good.
Obviously, you've been on AEW. You've been on AEW Dark specifically on Primetime. So and the New Japan as well. Chase Owens coming up, isn't it?
Yes, that's Absolutely. This week, man. This Friday, New Japan World. You got me versus Chase Owens, New Japan Showdown, first time matchup, first time I ever wrestle anybody from Bullet Club. So it's going to be a good time, man. It's going to be a fire match. Everybody needs to tune in and check that out. But yeah, man, like you said, I've been on AEW Dark, Primetime Live, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. I'm on TV 4 times a week at this point, 4 different companies. So it's a blessing, bro.
How do they differ, the companies and the way it's put together? For you, from a personal aspect as a worker, as a wrestler, man, I'd like to know how they all differ.
Well, so I grew up in the wrestling business. I grew up with Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. You know, United Wrestling Network. I've been a mainstay there for the last 5 years. Kind of slowly became the face of the company, in my opinion. And I just, you know, the production there is top quality. You know, David Marquez, shout out to David Marquez. I give him all the credit in my career, everything he's done for me, you know, over the last 5 years. He really was the guy that got me on TV for the first time ever and taught me how to work TV, you know, like learning from everybody there, all the guys in the back and the staff, and just really understanding camera work, production, you know, how to make sure my promos, you know, are top notch, how to make sure that, you know, the selling, the camera work, all that stuff. And, you know, when we're doing it with the fans and now we're doing it with studio style with no fans, you know, that helped me prepare myself, excuse me, sorry for the allergies,
Oh, it's
but
all right,
that helped me prepare myself for, working, New Japan Strong studio style, no fans, AEW Dark, no fans, and it's been a thrill ride being able to work for all these companies, seeing how everybody operates, seeing how everybody, conducts business, all professional companies, each and every own company having its own unique way, even with Primetime Live being live on pay-per-view, weekly episodic episodes on Fight TV. It's just been pretty dope to see all these different talents from all over the place, meet all these people from all over the place, work with them, grind it out, steel sharpen steel, and everybody that's wrestling on these shows that I'm on are top-notch talent, and it's a super humbling experience, man.
Who've been some of the guys? We'll scoot back to obviously Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Yeah. So for your time at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, who have been some of the guys you've loved getting in there with? Not saying that you're playing favourites as such, but I'm sure there's been matches and guys you've loved getting in there with.
For me, I think my favorite opponent at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, specifically just Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, has been Adrian Quest. He's a really, really top-notch talent out of SoCal, young Fuego. So shout out to Adrian Quest. He's dope in the ring, man. We've had some great matches. You got guys like Ice Williams. He's coming out of Vegas, but he's cold dude, man. He got the charisma. He got everything you should need to be successful in this business. So shout out to Ice Williams. Guys like Ray Rosas, Andy Brown, really, really dope. Guys like Kevin Martinson, who are very, very hidden secrets. Ryan Taylor, who's just now getting that attention with Ring of Honor. So Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, it bred guys like Scorpio Sky. It bred guys like Bateman, and it just goes to show you that David Marquez is just that guy when it comes to finding talent and really, getting his hands and putting his little bit of Marquez in all these people. It's been pretty dope to be able to wrestle with these guys over these years and now seeing all their success and then even my success of my own. I'm a product of David Marquez, and I'm doing pretty good for myself right now. So I'm forever grateful for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. I always call it my home. You know what I'm saying? So it's been awesome there.
Going on to AEW, how did it come about, getting the relationship with AEW and then wrestling for AEW? How did that come about for you?
Well, there was I don't know if he would want me to put his name out there, but there was a guy who's dope dude, a really good friend of mine, who kind of like put in the good word for me. I had previously contacted AEW when the pandemic first started, but obviously, when everything was going on with the pandemic, people were a little like, they weren't trying to just bring any old body in just for safety precautions and things like that. But I got the call, man, and I went out there, and it's pretty dope because a lot of those guys, I knew before they got signed. I had wrestled Sammy Guevara right before he got signed in San Diego. I've known Scorpio Sky for years. Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus. I used to train with them, and I still do train with them. We would go to the Gymnastic Olympia and work on some new moves, some new combos, things like that, just grinding it out. Seeing like guys like Marco Stunt that I know. It's just so much like, I'm my boys, Ray Phoenix and Penta. Like, I've wrestled them guys all over the place over here in SoCal area, coming up when I was young in the business in Mexico. They were main eventing the Crash when I was just starting there, So it's pretty dope, just meeting with all these guys and seeing their success. Santana and Ortiz, putting it on for New Yorkers everywhere. It's been a blessing, Sonny Kiss, shout out to Sonny, very, very amazing friend. And now being there and wrestling Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy back-to-back weeks and stuff like that with Marco Stunt as well. It's like coming full circle, and like, it's just been so dope, to be able to have these goals and have this 2020 vision and just see it all come to fruition, but it wouldn't have happened if I didn't get the call from Rocky Romero to come to New Japan, so like, it's been like steps and levels, and I'm not saying any company is above the other company, but it's the way things are hard. Basically the sequence of events of how it happened. Hollywood, New Japan and Primetime around the same time, and then AEW. So, and then the year before that, I was at Impact, and so it's just like pretty dope, and when New Japan, I met Rocky at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. He had just won the PP3 Cup in 2016, I believe, or 2015. I want to say 2016. And it's been, you know, one of those things where we have that network, that connection. And then now, you know, in New Japan, here I am wrestling guys like Clark Connors, amazing talent, you know, in the finals of Lions Break Crown, wrestling guys like Barrett Brown, Blake Christian. You see, you got Adrian Quest there. I've already threw down with him in a New Japan ring. Chase Owens this Friday, you know, my debut with TJ Perkins. So that's the kind of talent they got there. They got a bunch of Bullet Club guys there as well, like Kenta, Jay White, you know, It's you know, you got Jeff Cobb. There's just so much talent in the New Japan locker room, and that's a weekly show. And that's here in America, and it's just been a really, really dope ride. Just I'm on there almost every week, you know, and then they're bringing in guys like Fred Rosser, PJ Black, and Alex Zane, and it's just so much talent. And now with the Super J Cup coming up, you know, they're bringing in Ray Horace, amazing talent. I've wrestled him a few times. You know, Leo Rush is going to be making his debut soon. So, you know, Chris Bay, it's just so much talent, and it's really, really dope to be part of that. You know,
the match possibilities, just you listing all them guys for you as a performer, that's incredible. That's a who's who. I bet it's just whetting your appetite.
Yes, it is. It's making me hungry. I'm trying to be a part of it. You know, I'm trying to get in where I fit in it. And you know, I have a lot of amazing matchups already on New Japan, and there's only more to come, I'm sure of it, you know. And then you go talk about Primetime Live, and I think I'm tied right now with Dirty Dickinson for the most appearances on Primetime Live. And you know, I wrestled Kevin Martinson. We wrestled the Wolf Zaddy as part of the Bodega, me and Papo Esco. And I wrestled Clark Connors again. And then now we wrestled the Real Money Brothers. So, you know, we got Leo Rush talking shit on the internet. You know, it's probably gonna go down. You know, this is me sending another formal challenge to Leo Rush once again on another podcast, on another day, another time and place. Leo Rush wants the money. He talks a good game. He just made his debut. He beat the shit out of Fidel Bravo. Let's do it, Leo. Danny Limelight and Leo Rush at Primetime Live, main event. Let's do pay-per-view numbers. Marquez, if you listen in, which I know you listen to everything, what's up? Let's do it.
There you go. There you go, Leo. There it is.
Talking about Primetime Live, man, like look at the women's division. I think Primetime Live is consistently having amazing women's matches. You got Thunder Rosa, you got Miranda Alizé, Heather Monroe, you know, just all these, you know, they had Priscilla Kelly not too long ago. This is nonstop great females wrestling, women's wrestling. And then you got, you know, the world tournament happening right now with Mike Bennett, Fred Rosser, Dirty Dickinson, you know, Sean Daivari. Just they recently had Rocky Romero on there. Like, you know, Eric Redbeard. You know, David Marquez is bringing so much talent to Primetime Live. And it's the only place where you can see all these people from all over the place. He's even, you know, you got people collaborating from different companies. You know, we had the librarian, Peter Avalon, on there the other day. You know, Leo Rush just made his debut, like I said. Like, it's just so much talent that David Marquez has under his umbrella. I'll call it his umbrella. And Primetime Live is slowly becoming something special on Tuesday nights.
It's good value for money as well, where you can have 4 episodes for a set price. Very good for the fans, that is. That blew me away.
$21 gets you 4 episodes. Can't get no better than that.
And look at the guys. Look at week on week who's on that show. You know, let's forget WWE and AEW for a second. You're getting it in the studio format there. So incredible, man, incredible.
That's just more dividends to David Marquez's brain.
I want to scoot back. I want to go back to the origins of you training. Now, I know a lot of guys turn around and say, wrestling, I can do that. That's easy. Some of my mates who go to the gym and stuff like that, please tell me how tough it is when you're learning, when you're starting the embryonic stages of being a wrestler training. Please tell me.
Well, so for me, I like to tell everybody what it is. I'm not really professionally trained. If you want to call it that, I didn't have a school. You know, I started training with this one school in San Diego, and then they kicked me out and told me I'll never wrestle again. I started training in August of 2014. By middle of 2015, they kicked me out of the school, tried to blacklist me, told me I'll never wrestle again. So, the hard part for me, it wasn't getting in the ring. I was already physically fit. I already had stamina. I knew how to throw down. I was in the Marine Corps for 10 years. Like that discipline and stuff like that, that training kind of bled over into the ring very easily. But it's not an easy thing to do to wrestle. You know, in those early stages, you're grinding, you're driving all these hours, all these miles, all these, you know, cities and things like that. And you're, you know, trying to make a living off of it, trying to earn some money, trying to break even in the beginning, you know. The ring, the damage on your body, all that stuff takes its toll. So for me, you know, not having a school, trying to hustle and grind to get bookings was a lot. And, you know, after my school kicked me out, David Marquez is the one that called me and brought me into Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. So I was about 10 months in the business wrestling on TV. So I only learned through TV, you know, and just having so many matches and just wrestling Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday on all these different shows, getting my reps in the ring that way and driving a lot. And then I took a break at the end of 2016. I went away to go be a drill instructor in the Marine Corps. I took about 2 years off, and when I came back in 2018, I started training with Mariachi Loco and Lil Cholo. They were seen on Lucha Underground, you know, as part of the Rabbit Tribe with Paul London and Killer Cross. And it was really, you know, learning the Lucha Libre style with them, being able to add what they taught me into my style now. You know, I definitely consider myself to be a hybrid where, you know, I could do Lucha Libre, I could do the wrestling, I could do the high flying, I could do the striking. And I think that fits for me perfectly. If you look at the places that I'm wrestling, like New Japan Strong, AEW, like that's the kind of style that I need to be able to work with. You know, it allows me to be able to wrestle anybody, any size, any kind of capability. Somebody, if I go to Mexico to wrestle for AAA, you know, like I've done before, I could do the Lucha Libre with those guys. If I'm in AEW, I could do the hybrid style, high flying, striking. If I'm in New Japan, I could strike and wrestle. You know, if I'm on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood Primetime Live, I could pretty much do all of that together, you know. And so it kind of all meshes in and it creates who Danny Limelight is, you know, the Puerto Rican Papi, the radioactive wrestler. And it feels good being able to do my thing, considering everything that I went through early on in my career.
Testament to you being kicked out of the school and then carrying on with it, man. And that's good. I think young guys, especially here in Wales, who train, they can take a lot from that, man. You know, don't let it knock you. Stick at it.
If you know your worth and you know who you are, nobody else's opinion should stop you.
How is it traveling the roads and stuff? Do you like that side of it, traveling to different places? How is it for you personally?
It's been cool. Like lately, I've been pretty much stagnant here in California because of the coronavirus, except when I'm flying to Florida for AEW. But I like the traveling. I like the road life. I like, you know, going to new cities, new places, meeting new people. I'm a people person, so like I like to go out to a bar or a restaurant or just, you know, go to the mall in that city and meet people. You know, like I love meeting, you know, new females especially and about, you know, what they love to do in their city and stuff like that. So it's cool. I'm single, and I've had, you know, a really, really good time just traveling and exploring the world. I traveled a lot when I was in the military, so I'm used to traveling because of that. And now that I'm doing it here for something else that I love, it makes it even more fun. You know, it doesn't make it feel like work.
What about the mental side of it? I know it's a physical thing what you're doing. How'd you deal with the mental side of it? Are you cool with that?
Yeah, mentally, like, you know, I have really good discipline. I have a lot of willpower, a lot of, you know, warrior mindset. So mentally, I'm good. Everything's been really great. The last, we're in month 11 now this year. This has been the best year of my wrestling career. Mentally, I didn't let the coronavirus or the quarantine get to me. I pushed through that. I stood in shape. I worked hard. I was grinding throughout all of that, you know. Even through injuries, when I get injured, you know, I've separated my shoulder, I broke my radial bone, I split my head. Like, I don't let that get to me. I don't let that keep me down. I recover way faster than I should be in the ring, and I do it because I don't want to sit in the sidelines watching everybody else grind. I want to be in the grind. When I see people, you know, achieving their goals, it doesn't make me jealous. It makes me want to work harder. I support everybody. I show love to everybody. I spread love. It's the Brooklyn way, and so I feel like I have the right mentality and the right mindset for this.
That's sobering to hear that. There's so many people that'll downplay someone, especially in society now, not just wrestling. I like the positivity.
To me, that's the hater stuff, and I can't do the hater stuff. Yeah, I can't do that. I can't downplay somebody else. I can't talk down on somebody else. I see somebody succeeding, winning a championship or getting signed or, you know, making a debut. I like to show them love. If somebody's in a spot that I want, listen, it doesn't bother me. I talk to TJ Perkins a lot, man. He's a good friend of mine. And one thing that he said that stuck with me was that he said, I can eat without taking off somebody else's plate. That's what this business is about. Everybody can eat. There's opportunities for everybody. Nobody is like should be worried about somebody else's spot or worried about their spot. If you do what you're supposed to do and you grinding it, you're going to have your spot, you know? And that stuck with me. And so that's why I never get jealous. I never get envious. I always show love. I share people's stuff. I promote people's stuff. And it's like, hey, good for that person. And then it makes me want to work harder. Like I said, steel sharpens steel, man. And that's how I look at all this.
It's a great quality. I know I keep saying it, but I'll reiterate. Great quality, man. And I'll take that away with me as well. In terms of talent now, in the present, who has done amazing in your mind? Who'd you like to watch? Who's exceeded your expectations, maybe?
The first person I think of is my boy Chris Bay. Super talented dude. He's amazing. And one thing I love about Chris is that, like, he never forgot where he came from. He always shows love. You know, I talk to him very often. He's one of the few wrestlers that I actually talk to. And it's really dope to see all his success. Looking at, like, you know, Jungle Boy. I remember when I first met Jungle Boy, you know, we was in LA at UEW, some show, some like regular show, and he was running around and doing his thing. And I was like, man, this kid is cool, man. But then now, like, seeing how far he's come, like, fuck, man, this guy's good. And getting in the ring with him back to back on AEW, man, he just shows how good he is, you know. And so I'm really happy for him. I'm really happy for Luchasaurus as well. And who else can I think of that's just been doing amazing things? You know, even somebody like Ray Rosas, who's been in the business for so long and so underappreciated by so many. I think he's super talented. He understands it, and he always gives back to the up-and-comers like myself. You know, now he's the Arizona State champion. He's the champion, the Heritage champion. Like, he just made his AEW debut, and he's on Primetime Live. He's on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. He's doing amazing things, so I'm really happy for him as well.
In terms of, like, obviously when you were younger watching wrestling before you were in the business, who was some of the guys who did you love watching, who jumped out the screen at you?
I was a huge Rock fan. The Rock was my favorite wrestler. I love The Rock, everything he did in the microphone, everything he did in the ring, his music hitting, everything was just electric from the minute his music hit to the minute his music hit again when he won the match. I loved watching Eddie Guerrero. Rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero. I loved watching him. I loved watching Rey Mysterio. Nowadays, I like watching Randy Orton. I like for like the little things that he does. He's amazing to me. When I first started wrestling myself, I watched a lot of Seth Rollins. He was somebody that I looked at too for inspiration and things like that. And now, you know, obviously, I try to watch a lot of everything. I try to watch a lot of AEW. I try to watch a lot of New Japan and seeing stuff like G1 Climax, things like that. Guys like Will Ospreay, Jay White, you know, Kenta. Then over at the AEW side, just so much talent as well. And I just try to keep my eyes on everything, you know, and then improve myself. How can I be more innovative? How can I make my stuff look good, look clean, and be an asset to somebody's company?
I'm not going to make it too wide because we'll be talking about for a long time. Top 3 matches off the top of your head as a fan, not as a wrestler. The top
my favorite 3 matches that I've watched
of all time. Yeah.
Hogan and Rock, WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano at TakeOver.
Yeah.
Fucking love that match. Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero, Halloween Havoc.
Yeah.
Those are my 3 favorite matches to watch.
I was watching that the other night on the network, man. Just
the Halloween Havoc?
Just watch it. Like, I can watch it hundreds of times, Danny. Yeah. It does not change. I still feel like I'm in 1997. Yeah. I love it, man. I love it.
I love that match. It's a perfect match.
Masterpiece.
Perfect match. Yep.
Like,
love those 3 matches.
Even these kids who you know watch modern stuff now, that is modern. It's unreal.
The Rock and Hogan for the electricity, you know,
and Hogan switching where he was leaving NWO, and the crowd played their part in that. It just shows you
that right there. Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio for the magic in the ring, and then the Gargano and Cole match for like just the moves and the back and forth. It's all those 3 matches combined together. To me, is like wrestling, you know.
I'm going to segue into Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era. Do you think it is time for them to come up? Because they've been in NXT for 3 years now, I know they're doing the angle with Pat McAfee. I think they've been ready to go up for a long time, freshen it up.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if they want to. I mean, I'm sure they do, but for me, they would have to go. I would want to see them go up as a team, staying together, and they would just have to dominate everything. They would have to take everything within the first few months for it to work for me. You know, I would be afraid that they would get stuck somewhere, and I wouldn't want that. You know.
What did you think of Drew McIntyre's title run? I'm bringing it UK now because obviously we were dead proud. Just a shame no fans at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I kind of felt bad that he didn't get that moment with the fans and stuff like that. I thought it was a good run. The dude is a monster. He's huge. He has the look. He can talk on the microphone. Like he has all the qualities you need to be a champion. I liked his feud with Orton. I like that it's still going. I think it was a good time to switch the title. You know, I felt like it was a good decision to put it on Orton right there. I think the work he's been doing has been amazing. He definitely has brought out the best in Drew. I would like to see some kind of cool turnaround where Drew gets it back somehow. But, you know, it was a good run. It was a good reign. I love that Drew was a real one. Like he never was one of the guys complaining online, never was one of the guys being all like dramatic. It was excuse me. He was dope and well deserving, and I'm glad he got that moment.
And to be given the honor, you know, Brock doesn't put over everybody.
Yeah. Yep. And he put over Drew.
What an endorsement that is when Brock says, I will drop the belt. You know, he's got to have some say so, hasn't he? Dropping the belt at the biggest show of the year. Just incredible man.
And you know, talking about The Rock and Samoan Dynasty, like I really like the work that Reigns has been doing as well with the whole tribal chief, and that's pretty cool too.
It's the possibilities are endless for that, aren't they? Like, are we going to see Dwayne, The Rock?
Yeah, probably for Mania.
I hope that's the payoff. I hope that's what we get as fans. Like, you know, that's just, oh my days, it'd be so amazing. And hopefully there'll be fans in the stadium wherever it is.
And I think that's the only way The Rock would do it.
Tampa.
I think that's the way The Rock would do it with fans.
What do you think? What do you think with Heyman, with Reigns? Because he hasn't really said much vocally on the mic, has he? As he did with Brock. I know Reigns can talk to an extent. Yeah. I find Heyman's been a bit more muted, you know. What are your thoughts?
I think it's cool. I think it gives it like the devil's advocate kind of play. Like the reason why Reigns is acting this way is because Heyman's in his corner, you know? And that'll give it like a good playoff eventually, hopefully when Reigns, you know, gets rid of Heyman. Or maybe they're setting something up with Heyman as like an undercover for Brock when Brock returns. I don't know. There's just so much that could happen with that, you know?
It's cool when they got a storyline like that where it's keeping you guessing as well, because sometimes we're a bit like, oh, this isn't good. But yeah, at least going off what you're saying there, it's keeping us guessing, isn't it, what's going to happen in the long run? So
yeah, we're talking about it now, so obviously it's working.
The machine have got us talking. So there we go. Danny, I want to know your tips for budding wrestlers who are getting into training and into the business. Top tips, Mr. Rivera, please, closing out.
Stay humble, work hard, bust your ass. Don't let people get to you. Don't let anybody that's doubting you sway your decisions. Pursue what you want 100%. It'll work out for you if you're a good person and you're actually working hard. Find a reputable school, most importantly. You know, definitely get the right training. I'm very fortunate that I was able to get this far and not have that kind of foundation, but I'm getting it now with the right people. And I'm a big dreamer. So if this is also something that has been your dream and something that you've always wanted, just go for it. You know, like really, really go for it. I don't have another job. I wrestle. That's it. I mean, I do the acting and the stunts, and that does pay well. But this is my plan A. And my plan B is another way for my plan A to work. You know, I've been very blessed and very fortunate that I can do this. And if this is what you want, to anybody listening, just go for it. Give it everything you got, and don't stop until you get it. That's it.
Persistence, man. Just going on to reputable schools. The guys over in the UK are very lucky. There's some there's a lot of good schools now. 25 years ago when I was a kid looking into doing it, I never did it. Wouldn't be good enough. I know it wouldn't be good enough.
You're good at this, though. You're good at this.
I try. This is what I was always wanted to do. Yeah, just there's a lot of good schools over here now, Danny, you know, reputable, as you say, because there is some people that will fleece you to train you, won't they? Yes, but you need to find a reputable school. You know, that's the most important thing right there. I really want to thank you, bro, for bringing me on, Stu, for doing this interview. I had a great time. I definitely would love to do this again. And for anybody listening, if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Danny Limelight, or check out my Pro Wrestling Tees store, prowrestlingtees.com/Danny Limelight. You could catch me on Tuesdays on Primetime Live, AEW. You can catch me Fridays on New Japan Strong. This Friday, Danny Limelight versus Chase Owens. And you can catch me Saturdays at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Stu, my man, thank you so much. Much love, brother. Dan, it's a privilege getting you on, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving all the mainstream promotions you're in now as well. It's testament. It's testament to you as a person, testament to the drive and persistence, man. So thank you for coming on Stu's Wrestling Podcast today. Take care, brother.
Flying the flag for the UK from rugby, this is Evade Escape with their single, Already Know.
This episode is brought to you in association with Powered 4 TV, so go and check them out for anything wrestling related, old events, new events when we come out of COVID, podcasts, you name it, it's all there at Powered 4 TV, so find them across social media.